Well, joining me now is Ian Bloom, media law consultant. A very good morning to you. Thank you for joining me. I think John Mayer, former BBC producer, summed it up beautifully earlier on this morning. He said it's an absolute mess.
If that's the question, David, he's right. It is a mess.
So can I just ask you, there are people caught in this. It is a legal minefield, and I've been very careful this morning to say, look, we have to deal in facts. We have to deal in what we know and what we don't know, and there are claims and counterclaims, and it is it's becoming more nebulous. It's almost more questions than answers currently. We know Tim Davey's about to give a media appearance, but there are obviously, from a legal perspective, first of all, for Presenter X, this is really an invidious position for Presenter X. Just in terms of the law, people naming Presenter X on social media, and the question is, what can Presenter X do at this point in time?
Presenter X has got unenviable choices. He can, if he chooses, out himself and end the speculation, partly to end the speculation and partly to help his co-presenters who are entirely innocent. He can sit back and do nothing and rely on the law, because the law is pretty clear. He has a reasonable expectation of privacy, and until someone's arrested and charged, no one, be it the press, be it radio and television, be it people commenting on Twitter, no one's entitled to name him. It's his privacy trumps the insatiable desire of the public to know gossip, essentially. So what is he going to do? That's a very difficult question. He may lose either way, because inevitably the name is beginning to leak. A lot of people know it in the media themselves, and Twitter is ablaze with all sorts of names, including his.
It is very, very difficult indeed. I think in the media, everyone is being very careful, and obviously there is a possibility that mistakes will be made, and I think it's an invidious position generally. But also, just in terms of other presenters caught up in this, we know people like Jeremy Vine threatening people with legal action because, and this is the point I've been making all morning about social media, people pointing the finger, whether they're right or not is slightly irrelevant, but the fact is, in terms of if they point it incorrectly, that is libel, and there is a possibility then, I suppose, to have some sort of class action if Presenter X is found to be not guilty.
Well, certainly the precedent that springs to mind is when Sally Bercow, the wife of the former Speaker of the House of Commons, John Bercow, libelled Lord McAlpine 10 years ago in a Twitter tweet. And to her surprise, and perhaps to the surprise of many Twitter users, the High Court said, this is defamatory. You've got to pay libel damages. And it should have acted as a warning, but it doesn't. It didn't. People have short memories. They think still in this age that they can tweet without consequences. And a tweet is as much a publication as what we're doing now and as what the newspapers are printing. It's hard to know how to educate people into respecting the law. But one of the things that may come out of this is the dangers of social media, of uninformed speculation, and even informed speculation. There's a time and a place, and it isn't now.
We've been talking a great deal about Tim Davey, obviously about to give this scheduled media appearance, and many commentators have said clearly he will have been up all night with lawyers working out what he can and can't say. I think the key to this is trying to get on top of the narrative. If you were advising the BBC now, given where they are, what advice would you give Tim Davey?
I think what I'd say is adopt the position in front of the committee in a few hours' time that ITV adopted when they were hauled up before the committee for the Philip Schofield affair, which is to say, look, we are investigating a complex situation as quickly as we can, and it's inappropriate to give a running commentary to you and on a daily or almost hourly basis as to what we're doing. It's unfair to the presenter, it's unfair to the young person. It's unfair to the families of the presenter and the young person, who must be going through nightmares at the moment. So forgive me, committee, but we are going to operate as quickly as is reasonably possible, and we're not going to fuel the flames by commenting and speculating now. It's too early. Now, we can be criticised, I suppose, on the basis that we were told in May certain things, but that may be disputed as well. And until there is a proper investigation internally by us, and if necessary by the police, we want to dampen down the speculation. It's unnecessary. It's almost as if the silly season in August has come a month early.
And of course, at the end of the day, there are real people's lives caught in the middle of this. Thank you so much, John. Thank you for so much, Ian. Ian Bloom there, media law consultant.